The story begins in the frozen north, beyond the Wall, where mysterious creatures known as the White Walkers emerge from the shadows after thousands of years of silence. A group of Night's Watch Rangers encounters them, and what seems like an ancient legend suddenly becomes real. But when the survivor returns, he is executed by Lord Eddard Stark, Warden of the North, for desertion. This moment sets the tone. In this world, myths and reality collide. In Winterfell, we are introduced to House Stark, Ned Stark, his wife Catelyn, and their children, Robb, Sansa, Arya, Bran, and little Rickon, along with Jon Snow, Ned's illegitimate son. They find 6 direwolf pups, one for each child, symbolizing their bond with the North. This is no coincidence. The direwolf is the sigil of House Stark and foreshadows the destiny of each child. Soon, King Robert Baratheon arrives in Winterfell with his court. He asks Ned Stark to become the Hand of the King, his chief advisor, after the mysterious death of the previous Hand, Jon Arryn. Despite his reluctance, Ned accepts, setting in motion a chain of events that will unravel the 7 kingdoms. The political tension rises when we meet Queen Cersei Lannister, her twin brother Jaime, and the witty Tyrion Lannister. Their presence at Winterfell begins a dangerous game of power. The first true tragedy comes when Bran Stark accidentally discovers Queen Cersei and Jaime in a forbidden moment. To protect their secret, Jaime pushes Bran from a tower window, leaving him paralyzed. This shocking act proves that no character is truly safe in this story. Far across the narrow sea, another storyline unfolds. We meet Daenerys Targaryen, the exiled princess of a fallen dynasty, and her brother Viserys, who dreams of reclaiming the Iron Throne. Viserys marries Daenerys to Khal Drogo, a powerful Dothraki warlord, in exchange for an army. Though she begins as a frightened girl, Daenerys slowly starts to discover her own strength and destiny. Back at the Wall, Jon Snow joins the Night's Watch, a brotherhood sworn to guard the realm from dangers beyond. Here, he meets characters like Samwell Tarly and learns the harsh reality of life at the edge of the world. But even the Wall cannot hide the looming threat of the White Walkers, whose return is dismissed as myth by most, yet feared by the few who have seen them. Ned Stark travels south with his daughters Sansa and Arya to the capital, King's Landing. Here, the true Game of Thrones begins. The city is filled with secrets, plots, and betrayals. Sansa dreams of marrying Prince Joffrey, but Arya resents the court's false smiles and cruel games. Ned quickly realizes that the death of the previous Hand, Jon Arryn, was not natural. He begins investigating and discovers a dangerous truth. The royal children, including Prince Joffrey, are not truly King Robert's heirs, but the illegitimate offspring of Queen Cersei and her brother Jaime Lannister. This shocking revelation could destroy the throne and ignite war. Meanwhile, political games intensify. We meet members of the royal court, Peter Baelish, known as Littlefinger, a master manipulator, Lord Varys, the Spider, who deals in secrets, and Renly Baratheon, the king's ambitious brother. Every conversation is filled with hidden motives. Ned, a man of honor, struggles in a place where honor often leads to death. Back in Winterfell, Bran Stark slowly recovers but remains paralyzed. He begins having strange visions of three-eyed ravens, hinting that he is connected to something mystical beyond the ordinary struggles of men. His storyline quietly sets the stage for the deeper magical elements of the series. Across the narrow sea, Daenerys Targaryen grows stronger among the Dothraki. Though her brother Viserys mistreats her, she learns to embrace her role as Khaleesi, the wife of Khal Drogo. When Viserys demands his crown, Drogo gives him exactly that, a crown of molten gold poured over his head, killing him instantly. With her abusive brother gone, Daenerys begins to realize her own destiny, to become the true leader of House Targaryen. Meanwhile at the Wall, Jon Snow trains with the Night's Watch and learns of the ancient threats beyond. Strange reports arrive of dead men returning as creatures of ice and darkness. Though the realm ignores these warnings, the myth of the White Walkers becomes more real with each passing day. Tension rises in King's Landing when King Robert is mortally wounded by a wild boar during a hunt. On his deathbed, He names Ned as protector of the realm until Joffrey comes of age. But Ned knows Joffrey is not the true heir. Instead of seizing power, Ned tries to do the honorable thing. He writes to Robert's brother Stannis, revealing the truth. But in King's Landing, honor is weakness. Cersei seizes control, tears up Ned's declaration, and declares Joffrey king. With King Robert dead, Cersei and the Lannisters move swiftly. Joffrey is crowned king, and Ned Stark is betrayed by Littlefinger, the very man who promised him support. Instead of securing power for Stannis, Ned is thrown into the dungeons as a traitor. His family in Winterfell is left vulnerable, and war begins to stir across the Seven Kingdoms. In King's Landing, Sansa pleads for her father's life, while Arya barely escapes capture, forced into hiding among the common people. Ned's fate rests in the hands of Joffrey, who proves to be cruel and merciless. Despite Cersei and others advising him to show mercy, Joffrey shocks everyone by ordering Ned Stark's public execution. Before the eyes of the crowd and his own daughters, Ned is beheaded. This moment shattered audiences worldwide, proving that in this story, no one is safe, not even the supposed main character. In the north, Robb Stark rallies bannermen and declares war against the Lannisters to avenge his father. The War of the Five Kings begins to brew. The Starks, once loyal to the throne, now become open enemies of King's Landing. Meanwhile, Jon Snow at the Wall struggles with his vows. Upon hearing of Ned's death, he contemplates abandoning the Night's Watch to fight for his family, but his brothers remind him of his duty. Still, beyond the Wall, greater threats are stirring. The dead are rising, and ancient powers are awakening. The myths are no longer just stories told around the fire. Across the sea, Daenerys' story reaches a turning point. Tragedy strikes when Khal Drogo is injured in battle. In desperation, Daenerys seeks the help of a sorceress, but the dark magic takes Drogo's life and her unborn child. Broken and alone, Daenerys steps into the fire with 3 dragon eggs gifted to her at her wedding. By morning, she emerges unharmed, with 3 baby dragons born from the flames, the first dragons seen in centuries. This moment marks the rebirth of House Targaryen and cements Daenerys' role as the mother of dragons. Season 1 closes with 2 unforgettable images: the North preparing for war after Ned Stark's death, and Daenerys standing tall with dragons on her shoulders. The Game of Thrones has truly begun, where honor is punished, betrayal is rewarded, and myths become reality.